Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Misfit podcast. Very excited to chat with these three lovely ladies today. Individual games competitors up in Maine, spending some time with us. We have Chyna Cho, Kenzie Riley, and Paige Semenza. Like they needed an introduction, but there it is. Guys, how's your trip been so far? Hanging out in Maine, it's been a week? Coming up in a week, 6 days.
Yeah.
You guys got here a little before camp we had at HQ.
Yep.
You guys participated in that, did some extra training on the side, and then we've been doing some fun, slightly different games training pieces. Taking
Seth
advantage.
tried to kill us yesterday in the lake.
What are you
That
talking
shit was
is
so
real.
far.
I almost killed myself.
But then you went back out and went again.
Well, anyway, I had to redeem myself.
Oh, gosh.
So, all right, let's start with Paige. She's kind of the newcomer here. She has never been up here before. First time individual games competitor, but you were on a team.
I was.
How about a little background about yourself for everybody else?
Okay. So this is my third year competitively in CrossFit. I've been doing it for 4 years. 2016, I went individual in the Atlantic region. I was kind of lucky to go. I was 29th in the region, and
They take 25?
they took 20.
20.
And then about 10 girls went team.
Yeah,
So,
I remember that year, actually.
Yeah, that was a lot that year. So when I got that invite, I was like, wow, I was a little mind blown. But we went and we worked really hard. Finished 14th.
That's
So it was a
good.
really good, it was a really good year to start off. And then at Granite Games, I met up with a girl that I went to college with, Kelly Wild, and we went to Ohio State together. We played ice hockey there, and we reconnected. And her and the team kind of recruited me for Minnesota to go out
Which
to Timberwolf.
team was that? Timberwolf.
Timberwolf, yeah. So they were right in St. Paul, and I went out there for 8 months, all last year. Trained out there, lived out there with Kelly and her family, and we finished 8th at the games. So we had a really good year.
Very solid.
Yeah. So my ultimate goal was to go get the experience, work hard, see what we can do that year. But mainly, I really wanted the experience and ultimately wanted to go individual.
Was there something about your experience during the team setting that built your confidence that this would be your year to make the push, and you didn't maybe want one more year on a successful team? Like, did you have a moment where you're like, I'm sure I'm going individual?
Yeah, I kind of knew, but I also left it up in the air for a month or so, really trying to think about it and considering moving back out there. But I didn't like living away from home for that long. 8 months is a really long time. A lot changes in 8 months.
Yes, it does.
So I love my life back home. I have great people at home. I have my family. So, ultimately I wanted to stay home if I could. So by a month or two, I really made the decision that I was going to go individual.
Okay. Did you expect to qualify for the CrossFit Games?
This year, no.
You didn't expect it?
No, I didn't. I dealt with a really long withstanding injury last year.
What was it?
I had a overuse issue. There was really nothing to pinpoint what it was. A lot of tendon issue in my thumb, so a lot of hook grip stuff, overextension. Really just kind of, I couldn't do a lot last year, and I had to modify a lot. But fortunately, my team was really understanding with that. They knew just doing all of the other training that I would be as prepared as I could be. But it took a long time to rehab it after the games. So I was really kind of debating on whether or not I wanted to really try and make a run for it this year. I had the owner of my gym was programming for me, and then the gym started growing. A lot more responsibilities came out with that. So I started following the blog right around November. I started following Misfit blog. And right after the Open, once I qualified, I finished 4th in our region. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to really make a run for this, I want more than just the blog to get me there. So I signed up with Gabe, and here we are. It really paid off, So I put in a lot of the work. And
well, I think you just said it. You put in a lot of the work.
Yeah.
And I think others feel like they're putting in work, but until they have somebody like a really good training partner or a coach who can confirm that what they're doing is actually making meaningful change, then a lot of people are left wondering, guessing, and they're not quite sure if they're doing enough or doing too much or whatever it is. So it's nice to have someone like Gabe or another coach who can kind of like assure you like, this is all you need, this is what you need, and this is how we'll do it.
Yeah. I the first 2 years really kind of built a foundation for my success, I think, you know. And then just having that extra bit of attention after the open and learning about all the things that go into mindset. And Gabe is a really calm coach. You know, he focuses more on the mindfulness and the mental attitude and more than what the training pieces are that day. And I think that really helped transfer over into my training overall. And I've really enjoyed it.
Well, that's awesome. That's a pretty good story. I think that's going to be tough to beat, ladies.
It's okay.
Get
out of here, Paige.
I'm jumping right over to you.
Bye.
Back-to-back years qualifying for the CrossFit Games for Kenzie Riley.
Yeah.
Were you pretty confident going into regionals this year?
Definitely more confident than last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of brought that on? What was the tipping point for you this year that... Because I know the answer to the question, obviously. I'm trying to give it to everybody else. So, like, what were the things that allowed you to be more confident going into competition this year?
I feel like some experiences in the off season definitely helped. Some other competitions in the off season that I did. I think continually pushing myself to try uncomfortable things in training, really realizing I can do things that I don't think I can do, I think has built up my confidence. I think it's a difference in confidence, honestly, and just like believing and having like just accepting it and being like, even though I know I can always be better, like I am definitely better than I was, and like I'm definitely fitter than I was last year. And in my mind, I'm like, if I did it last year at this fitness level and I know I'm fitter this year, then I should be confident in that. That's kind of been my dialogue in my head. Like, to me, going into regionals is like, you did it once before at a lower fitness level in my mind.
That's fair.
So that's kind of, for me, I think, like, that's whether you know that or not, like, that to me, that's kind of my logic.
I mean, that's sound logic. That's as long as you're progressing with everybody else or faster, it's logical to assume that you'll be at least where you were last year or better. So, I mean, that's fine. But what sort of things this year during training specifically kind of allows you to say, like, I can, you know, because we had a lot of talks about going into regionals with the plan to just kind of destroy it. Like, whatever comes your way, you're going to crush it, and you're going to kind of really put yourself out there in all 6 events and see where you end up. And I think you accepted the task and definitely went for it. But this year there was almost like more freedom in the way that you approach things, and like it just felt like you were more out there, willing to lay it on the line than last year when you were nervous about things and playing it more safe.
Yeah.
And why were you able to do that?
Is the confidence answer not the answer you're looking for?
Well, if that's your answer, that's your answer. But I think there's more to it. I think you've probably had specific experiences or moments that you've had some realization that, I don't even know, maybe you don't remember them, but maybe you do have them.
Why don't you tell me what that is?
No. I'm not answering. I'm not interviewing myself.
You mean just like I said, in training, like doing things, approaching things differently instead of doing things the way that I've always done things, trying different ways of doing things, and being like open to adopting them more, or like I said, it's like, oh, I can't do that, and then I do it, I'm like, shit, yeah, I can, and I just did that for how many rounds in a row, like stuff like that made me.
I think you're answering the question.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, the word. Maybe the words aren't right. I don't know, but
so to me, your confidence lends to your tolerance of risk taking now. So your confidence is put you to a point, because before you were about the safest athlete I ever worked with. Like, if anything was like even remotely questionable, whether you could do a certain amount of reps in a set or you could push a certain pace on something, you would always err to the side of caution. And I think this year there were a couple instances in competition, forget training, but at regionals where you threw caution to the wind and were like, I am going for this. And sometimes it paid off really well, and sometimes it was like, oh, a little too fast, but that's okay. Like, still acceptable score.
Yeah. I mean, in training, I'm always afraid, I guess, the fear of, like I said, gaming training pieces and doing training pieces like competition. I know that's not the point. It's the, training. You take risks in training, but I used to be afraid of like ruining the piece or not getting like, oh, it's going to like I'm not going to get out of it what I'm supposed to if I, mess it up by doing something, taking too much risk. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, I don't want to do that if it's going to ruin the piece. And now it's like, that's, if I need to do that, I will. And now I look for opportunity to do that. It's like, okay, well, I would do it like this, so I'm going to do it like this instead.
Exactly.
So,
your first example is like exactly playing it safe all the time. Yeah, you'll get like the desired stimulus, but you may never get something beyond what you're already comfortable with. And then I think we've beat the dead horse with making you do things just completely different than you'd want to approach things, just to put yourself in different situations that you may face down the road, or you may find yourself in the middle of a workout and have to push in certain spots or not, or whatever.
Things go wrong sometimes.
Hey, do you want to talk about it?
I mean, the thing is it's not a big deal, because if it would have like totally determined the outcome of my weekend, then that would be like obviously a devastating.
Could have. For almost every other athlete, that could have.
Yeah.
Determined the outcome of their weekend.
So I'm really honestly like looking back on the weekend, like just being in a spot that didn't affect anything, like, as far as like overall standings, is like really huge to me. Like I put, like, I don't know, it's just crazy to me that didn't affect overall, like.
And what we're referring to is event 5 and Kenzie's handstand push-up massacre.
Yeah.
Whatever happened, I don't even know at this point.
I don't even really know. Like I said, it wasn't like devastating. Granted, I am always definitely examining a lot of my reps these days and been like, is that good? But honestly, I surprised myself. I don't know what anybody else did, but I know what I did. And like, I don't know, like that was a huge experience for me, and like how I went through that.
Let's talk about the mentality, like when you. So event 5, for those who need the quick like synopsis, the handstand push-up standard, very, very gray this year, and you got stuck with the judge that everyone was complaining about all weekend. I don't mind saying that to everybody. It's just, teams were coming up to me talking about this one particular judge. Right. You got that judge.
Didn't know that. Okay.
And I was well aware of that going into it, but your handstand push-ups looked so good in the warm-up and so smooth, I couldn't understand what was happening. So even though I was about 10 feet away from you watching, you accumulated something like 30 or more no reps, and you were about 2 minutes off the wall behind the 19th person to come off the wall. So not only were you like behind, but you were almost 2 minutes behind the next closest competitor. You got to the toes to bar. There was no one on toes to bar. Everyone else was on the bike by that time. So you have this huge gap. Talk to us about like what's going through your head at that moment. Is it fear? Is it like anger? Like what's happening?
It's quite a blur. But like, first of all, being upside down, you're like so disoriented anyways. Like I think I'm doing things right. I'm like trying to meet this standard. I'm like squeezing this and flexing this and like arching and just like trying to figure out like what this judge wants from me as far as a rep goes. And so like I'm upside down. I don't know what rep I'm on. I'm like failing. Like try not to pay attention to other people, but I'm very clearly like no one else is here with me. And I was just like, you know what? The only way I'm going to be able to like get anywhere, I can't just skip it. I can't I have to get through these. So I was just like, whatever it takes. If you're going to keep getting no reps, just freaking take them and just get back up there and get some good reps and just get through them.
Well, that sounds like a positive state of mind. Would you say that you had a positive mindset at that moment?
I mean, I was definitely frustrated, but it's just like, what else are you going to do? Like, you can't really do anything else. So you just have to do it. And I would just wish I understood what she was wanting. That was the frustration. But I mean, we got through it. And then at that point, like I said, every like plan that I had made of like, I'm going to hold this and I'm going to hold these sets and I'm going to do this.
Right.
I was like, I've got to go. Like in my mind, I was like, I'm going to get 20th place. Like I thought I was going to get like 20th place in the workout. Yep. I was like, this is going to be a bottom half for sure. I mean, it's
in your best workout, you were about to take 20th place.
And everybody was like, you're going to crush this. This is totally your event. In my mind, I was like, I don't know about that. Box step ups and me weren't the best of friends in all the testing. So I was like, I don't know. And I think in retrospect, it could have been like definitely like a really good event. I know, but like I said, of the whole weekend, I didn't think it would be okay. I didn't think it was going to be like the best.
When you got to the bike, you pushed the pace probably.
That's the thing is I pushed it, but I didn't push it going back and watching and like trying to get like my splits and like see
Yeah.
like where I was when compared to my training, I wasn't that much faster on the bike, but I think other girls' approach were to go much slower, and the pace that I was going to hold was going to be faster regardless.
Anyway, yeah.
So like I didn't push it crazy, but I pushed it more than other girls did, and that's like where I made up the time. But it wasn't because I did much different. It's that people just didn't do it the way I was going to do it, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
And then you crushed the step ups, and the rest
Till
is
the last
history.
2 sets, then I died. But then after that, I was just like, just hold on to it. Let's go.
I think they awarded, or I think you finished in 8th, and then you were vindicated later when the judges went back and looked and said, yeah, they were way off with the
8th, I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
That was like, I was happy with that. Literally, I thought I was going to be like 20th. So
yeah. And then I think you bumped up to 6th once they adjusted your
I think
score.
it was fifth or sixth or something. Yeah. And I was just
so
like,
they
all
looked,
right.
they went back and looked, and you were completely right. You were not being judged fairly, and they gave you quite a bit of time back based on that.
Which was awesome. I mean, I'd never expected that, but so it turned out fine regardless of whether, I appealed things or didn't appeal things.
Right.
Like I was really just like, holy crap, like that. I didn't realize I closed such a gap. But
do you think that moment or in that workout is kind of one of the defining moments of you in your growth as an athlete?
Well, you told me that weekend was a chance to have a defining moment in general that the whole weekend in my career, like going into it.
Yeah.
But for sure, like that, you had every reason to want to give up. Like at that point, I could have had a totally different reaction to that for sure.
I think a lot of people would have. And knowing you as well as I know you, and knowing the last year, Kenzie, I don't necessarily think that it would have been exactly the same. I think your frustrations may have set in earlier on versus what you've grown into now. It's just my opinion, but
good thing we'll never have to know. But yeah, I would. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think that certainly I would have reacted differently at another point in time because I also felt, like I said, this year I put myself in a situation where I was like, oh my gosh, like I set myself up well for in a crisis situation. Like it was like, I don't know, like I wanted, my goal or one of the goals was going into the weekend to have a more comfortable regional experience and to hopefully not be in a bubble situation.
Sure.
And so to believe that I put myself in such a comfortable situation to start, that if something like that had happened, I was still in that not bubble situation, to me was like, that's kind of to me what was like, oh my, like that's like to me that was what was awesome about it, is like, I don't know, I'm just used to feeling like I'm still fighting and like doubting and in a bubble situation. Like that's the type of athlete that I am, like that I'm always just going to be that person that no one talks about, that's always like oh, like she's been there but we still don't really recognize her as being like
it was a fluke.
Yeah, so like I'm getting past feeling that that's where I am.
Good.
So that's good.
I'm gonna leave you alone now.
Thanks.
We're gonna move on to 19-time games individual qualifier.
God, what, 1,000?
Chyna Cho.
Like 1,000 years old. Thanks.
Hi.
Legend.
Hi. Doing anything different this year than in past years? Approaching
gym.
training. Well, okay, let's start with that.
That definitely changed my training. I co-owned
For better
a
or for
gym.
worse?
Both, I think.
Okay.
I don't want to say worse is the correct term. It just takes up more of my time than previous things did. I used to co-own a gym that we bought into, so everything was established. I mean, insurance was there, permits were there, equipment was there, everything was there, location was there. Didn't have to do any of that, so I really just like coached a little bit, answered some emails, and that's it. And I felt like it was mine, but not really, because, we bought into it. I mean, it wasn't ours, me and Freddie's to start with. And then in December, well, a little before that, but our permits went through at the end of December, we have our own gym. And
it's kicking ass, clearly.
It's doing really well.
Yeah.
And but buy the equipment, do the insurance, wait for the permits, and now it's like mine.
Yes.
Or ours, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I have a completely different feeling towards it, and there's a lot more effort and emotion and time that go into it that takes away from training time, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because I'm not going to be an athlete forever. Maybe. I mean, I'm 19 times already, so.
That's right.
But I mean, like, this is going to be my livelihood once I'm done.
Do you think the tasks at the gym force you to space out your training in maybe a positive way, though? Like instead
maybe,
of having like a big...
I mean, if we're going to think of it in a positive, like you have to train in like earlier than normal and then coach and then train in the afternoon and then coach some more and then train at 8 p.m. when I don't want to train. That simulates the games very well.
Kind of does.
So yeah, does it give me the most optimal training? No, but I mean, if you can look at it two ways, obviously, like I said, the positive aspect and the dragged out aspect. But I love my gym and I wouldn't change it.
So with your new gym, do you think you're kind of in a more positive headspace because you like you enjoy what you're doing so much that it takes away some of the other stresses of life and kind of lends to, again, like being more productive in your training? Even if you have less time,
True.
You're more you're living I assume kind of a happier life with your better situations, so you can kind of be more positive all around. And
I go through like the back and forths with that too, because now I have a new expectation, like going through the open, going through regionals, like this is my gym, these are my people, I yell at them on a daily basis.
Right.
I need to show up the way that I expect them to show up.
Yeah.
And I have to set the example. So if I make it X amount of times before and now I have my own gym and all of a sudden I like shit the bed, I know that I'm going to feel way more devastated than I would have in previous years. Does that make sense?
Because you feel like you're carrying the weight of the entire community.
Yes. And for once I get to, like, if I make it to the games at the time, I get to put my gym's name on my jersey, not someone else's, not something I share,
cool.
not unaffiliated. Like I went last year and like I get to put my gym on there and represent my people. And that's like...
It's a big deal.
Yeah, huge. And if I didn't make it, I wouldn't have that opportunity. You know what I mean? So I feel a lot more emotionally connected and emotionally like unstable. Can you tell? Like with I felt like that during the open, watching people do it versus in my previous situation, even though they're the same people.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I don't even understand. Maybe it's because I'm old or something. I don't know.
You've strengthened the bond. Yeah.
I guess. And I feel like I'm like so much more invested. Not that I wasn't invested before. I don't know what it is. It's weird. Do you feel like that? Like, I mean, you own a business. Like, don't you feel so like...
My emotions are pulled in every direction all the time, and I have to pretend like nothing bothers me.
Yeah,
when
and
on the inside,
a fucking train wreck.
On the inside, I'm a 24/7 train wreck that I can't shut my brain off, and everything's going. Yes, but so I act like I'm cool, calm, and collected. Well, I try to, but
you do. I'm just kidding.
It's not the case if I appear to be that way. Okay, so you talked about you're not going to be an athlete forever. Do you have like a any sort of timeline planned out for how long you want to do this?
What's my 5-year plan?
Don't die. What's your 5-year plan?
Okay, so
I'm going to go to you two with this one too. Okay. Go ahead. Start with Chyna.
I don't want kids. Not that I don't like kids. I just don't want them.
Sure.
Freddie doesn't want them. We've actually had this conversation in the car. I'm like, anyway, we won't even get into that. I just don't want kids. I have a dog. She's my child. It's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm going to work out, I'm going to work out to be the best that I could be, and if I qualify, I'll probably always go. I think I'll always put myself out there.
I like that. So you don't think your competitive edge will ever, like, not your abilities, but like your
mindset for
your craving that competition?
Yes,
do you think that'll ever go away?
I don't think so, because I think that if that goes away, I wouldn't want to work out anymore.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, like, even before I found CrossFit, in between like my swimming stint and the like finding CrossFit, like I wanted to always like do a little more on the Stairmaster than what I did before, or always do something. Like, I always wanted something, and I feel like if I don't have a reason to train, whether it's just doing well in the open or whatever, or like qualifying for Wadapalooza, I don't know. Like, I don't know how that would affect.
Like doing it for recreation.
For recreation. I don't know. So I think I'm not going to say I'm going to compete forever, but I think I'll always try.
Okay, that's awesome. 5-year plan for Paige.
CrossFit.
Don't die.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Nice. I love it.
I don't know. I haven't figured out my life yet, like what I want to do or what I want to be.
Is that something that people ever do? Like, wait, am I supposed to have that figured out?
You're right. I love coaching. I love the rewards that come from it. I love seeing people succeed in the gym and, you know, seeing how much it translates to their life outside the gym. I would love to coach more, eventually make it a full-time thing. Right now, being a rookie going into the games, I'm just getting into the start of what CrossFit can be. If I really try and make a career out of it for a little bit, I would like to do that. But
how old are you now?
I'll be 27 next month.
Okay.
So
Young.
Lucky.
young, but not as young as some that are in
doesn't matter.
CrossFit
Look
too.
at Becca Voigt, girl.
Yeah, that's true. This is my first year being with Misfit, and I've really kind of jumped on it pretty late, right after the Open. So there's a lot of growth that I see within the next couple of years, and I'd love to see where that takes me first.
So you're just going for the ride.
I am.
I like that.
I'm going to cruise with it and have fun with it. And, when my mom kicks me out of the house, just deal with that when it happens.
How do your parents feel about your CrossFit habit?
They love it.
Yeah, Paige, how's your mom feel about it?
She,
Oh, is this a
you
topic?
fucking did it.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she loves it. My mom has been she's been my rock for a long time with CrossFit. With ice hockey, with anything that I did, she traveled with me everywhere when I was a kid. We lived in Pennsylvania, but ice hockey was all around us. It wasn't always in Pennsylvania. We were up north a lot. I went to a private school in Vermont for 3 years. I went to Ohio State. Her and my dad traveled every home weekend that they could because we were always out in the Midwest. So they are beyond supportive, and they spoil the shit out of me. So
That's nice, though.
awesome.
yeah, I'm very fortunate for what I have at home. So, I'll try and, take advantage of it, but, be grateful for everything that I have.
So it sounds like you're not going to get kicked out anytime soon. So
No, I don't think so.
okay.
Oh.
Don't do it, Mom.
I don't even know. Do we want to go down this road?
I mean,
I'm
it's
just
funny.
kidding.
No, thanks. It's funny because everything she just said is literally how I feel because, I know this is my second year, but I've only been here a short period of time. I feel like I just
There's
got
so
here.
much growth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I want to be here, and it's not just competitively, but with you people and the stuff
What do you mean,
coming
you
to Maine and
people?
I know.
what do you mean you?
What do you
people?
mean? How old are
Sorry.
you, Kenzie, for everyone?
I'm 30, and I'm gonna keep saying I'm 30 until I'm not 30, whether that's a month away or not. So I'm
I
still
mean,
30.
Maybe a day
Fair.
away.
You are 30 then.
Definitely closer to 31.
That's
but
all right.
I'm 30,
Okay.
and I feel like I just turned 30, but it's almost been a year since then.
You're going to be in
so-
your 30s next month. You're not going to be 30. You're going to be in your 30s. Like me
Yeah.
And me.
Yeah.
and China.
The thing, and that,
Sucks.
you know what?
And
And that's
Ted.
when I'm you know what? That doesn't,
It's not so
age
bad.
is just a number, whatever.
Exactly.
But I feel like I did get, I don't want to say a late start, but it's shit, man. What if I had, I wish I was in this fold, in this space earlier. I just feel like I got a late start, where I want to be,
To me, that's such a silly way to look at it, though. And I'm not picking on you, but when you think about the things that led you here, probably all the things that
And I
happened
wouldn't
in your
be here.
20s
I
that
wouldn't be
put
here
you
if
in
I
this
didn't do that.
position. Right.
Right.
So, maybe you didn't have super intense CrossFit training when you were in your early 20s, but you
Right.
did other things that led you down this path. And
Right.
all the circumstances in your life
Sure.
created where you are now.
oh, right. No,
So-
and I don't, yeah, I realize that. It's just, I also do have aspirations, the not children thing is probably not how Roy and I are going to go. It's always been part of our plan.
to have children.
Yes, to have children. But he's as much into this journey and my career in this as I am, if not more, to where
More.
let's be honest, it's more.
More.
So he's in. It's not like there's pressure. There's not pressure from him or in our marriage, but it's just it's something that we want. It's just when is the right time? How do you when is the right time? Because I don't want to stop doing this right now. This is freaking awesome and
Right.
I love this, but I'm also very aware. Again, I will be 31 next month, so it's just it's how long do we want to go on this ride, and how do we know when to stop it? And so we're kind of taking it year by year, season by season, and
Probably the only way you can
it's
do
really
it.
all we
Yeah.
You can't be okay, at 33,
I'm gonna stop
doesn't
wanting to do
matter
this.
what happens. I don't think life really ever works that
And
way.
I think kind of what Chyna said, even whenever that time does come, it's going to have to be because my life has been committed to a whole, like something else that doesn't let me be able to train like this, because I think I'll still want to train and do more than just, I'm just going to come in and do the affiliate class and not care like how much of a great workout or training or how my skills are. Like, I'm probably going to have a really hard time. Like, I'm just maybe not, I don't know, but I feel like I'm going to be the person that's like, oh, remember when I used to be able to do this and when I used to be able to do that? And it's like a sad realization. I'm just like, I'm not there anymore, and like I think that would be a hard acceptance. So
I'll tell you when you're not there anymore. I'll just let you know.
Thanks.
Just say,
nice.
You're so great.
Say maybe consider going team again, or like Masters is right around the corner if we want to like change gears a little bit. I'll just tell you.
Right. Well,
I'll take
thanks.
it off your plate.
I'm sure that'll be a really fun conversation. I'll really accept that. Even better that way.
Yeah, you'll love that.
So yeah, it's like, it's funny because I kind of have shades of both things that they said, like kind of mixed into
In the middle.
where I'm at, where I've been, where I'm going to be, and kind of the timing of my life right now. So
Okay.
who knows? Stay tuned.
You guys are deep. You're like, this conversation's going places. All right. Let's completely change it up. I want to talk about, what is your go-to snack during a training day? And what's in my head?
Training day?
Well,
What
okay.
shit?
No,
Why you gotta go
forget it.
training
No,
day?
no.
Holy
Just
donut?
let's go go-to snack, period. Who cares about
Does it
training
have
day?
to be
Don't
healthy?
start with me.
No, of course not. Oh, well, I want to because I did not expect
It's
the bag,
different.
the giant mixed bag of,
Reese's
well, what am I supposed to
Pieces.
say right now?
Reese's Pieces.
I call
That's
it,
private.
I've called it, you know, my whole life I've called them Reese's Pieces. I'm not
Really?
ashamed.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed.
Reese's Pieces?
That's how it's written, but I've called them Reese's Pieces.
Pieces?
And so
Did you say
Chyna came
Pieces?
back with a gigantic bag of Reese's Pieces, Reese's Cups. See, I even call them Reese's Cups. I'm weird. Pretzels and like caramel popcorn
This
mixed
is
together,
literally why-
and she crushed the whole bag.
No, you
Well,
ate part
I
of
ate a little
it.
bit. I had to try it.
Thank
you.
you.
I had to try it.
It was so good. Anyway, this is why I have the best drop-ins ever. They bring me candy. Even a guy
Wait,
from camp,
someone
Brandon.
brought that to you? You
keep
didn't buy
bringing
it?
No,
candy.
no,
Oh.
but I meant like
Yeah, you made
they
that
come
choice.
in with like gummy bears from Germany. Thanks, Nom. And then whatever, like all these like Switzerland chocolate. And then the guy Brandon,
Yep.
he's like, oh, I'm not dropping in at your gym, but I know that you really like candy and chocolate, so I had to bring you this Canadian chocolate. So I have like 6 bars of chocolate.
Are you gonna eat
Keep
them?
bringing the
Probably.
candy.
Milk chocolate or dark chocolate?
It's like there's like some caramel stuff. There's some
Whoa.
like nougat. What is it? Whatever. There's like all these different kinds. Go to snack. Okay, go Paige. I'll think about myself.
We've been to the grocery store like every day for
Yes,
snacks.
you
so
sure have.
Oh, I
Snacks
know
are
what
pretty
your
serious
go-to
here.
snack
I go
is.
for snacks.
Snacks.
Snack.
In between training, like pre-workout kind of stuff. Is that what we're talking about?
No, let's go. You are feeling like a fat kid, and you are gonna go
Whoa.
pick
fat
whatever you
kid.
want.
Now
Yeah.
you
Man, why you
change
gonna
it.
I mean, I figure that's more interesting for everybody.
I mean, can a meal count as a snack?
Yeah, I
Depending
don't
on.
really do that. Yeah.
I'm open to whatever you want to throw out there.
There's
I don't
categories
know,
of food
this-
stuff. You
Yeah,
gotta-
man.
Okay,
this
I'll
is
go.
a lot.
So I don't really like to snack that much. I like to eat like meals.
Okay.
I like, and I want it to be like, yeah. I like Mackenzie could take a bite of a cookie and then put the cookie away. That does not happen.
That
if
is a sign of a sociopath.
if I
Do you want to talk about sociopath behavior?
no, no,
my
I
friends
don't.
can like confirm this.
Never mind.
If I open a bag, it's gone. That's just how it is. Like a perfect bar. She can open it and turn it into 4 portions. I open one and eat 4 bars. Like that's the difference. Obviously, I ate 6 donuts. Like this is
You
not
did.
a lie.
For those who haven't seen that video on YouTube,
I mean-
both of them. I mean, Chyna crushed Kenzie, but Kenzie still ate more donuts than I have ever eaten in my
the
whole
goal.
life.
I didn't give up.
Well, you made a mashed donut soup that you
No
kind of
one
like.
said you couldn't do that.
No, but I don't think it was all consumed. Anyway, both of them ate a ridiculous
good
amount
enough.
of super heavy potato donuts while doing a workout, like
Yeah.
crazy capacity in eating junk food. Carry on.
Great. Okay, well, I would say probably my favorite thing, and traveling is different because I don't have my staple stuff, so that's why I had the Reese's Pieces. But I love dark chocolate chip peanut butter perfect bars, and I count my
Those are
macros
so
and
good.
I save fat so that I can eat that at lunch and sometimes one at dinner too. And they have 19 grams of fat per bar, by the way. That's my go-to. I love
They're
it. I like it
fantastic.
because I like to feel full. And that helps in my meal to make me feel full.
Are
It
you-
makes me happy.
Just before I say something about them, are you sponsored by Perfect Bar?
No, I'm not, and I
Okay.
wish I was.
Well, okay. Well, just
I
because
tagged
like
them in everything. They know
always
perfect
tag
bar.
them.
I want they're this isn't an ad for them, but they're so good. I actually wonder if they could possibly be what it says on the label because it like feels like a candy bar.
And
to
my
me.
sponsor, I mean, like, can you just? You don't even have to send them to me. I just buy them. It doesn't matter.
Anyway, I have a weird addiction to eating those with a hot cup of coffee. Like
Can't even
way
stop.
too many.
Like,
way too many.
But that's my go-to.
Okay.
But
I
that's
like
like
that.
a Reese's Pieces. Reese's Pieces.
A Reese's Pieces. Did you even answer the question? I don't think you did.
No, I would kind of agree with that. Like, I
like
love
those nature bar
I love
thingies.
yeah, but like
We're gonna have
if
to
I'm
get
thinking
kickbacks
like
for this. This is crazy.
like perfect bars are awesome. I usually go with the dark chocolate almond.
Okay.
That's also
Which
good.
is one of the new-ish
Yeah.
yeah,
flavors.
I also like
that's
that.
the
Almond,
dark brown package.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just slice it up with a peanut butter, and you kind of give that little combo there.
Dang.
Peanut butter
You're getting all
on
fancy.
top of the almond butter bar.
No, like with the
With
both.
like the banana and the almond bar.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, you combine it, slice them up.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Real good.
Nice. Mm-hmm. That's some good thing.
That's like a nice little wholesome snack there. Definitely.
Filling.
All right.
Yeah.
How about a
Damn.
meal? If you're gonna go get a fat kid meal, what is it?
Oh, fat kid meal.
Well, don't worry.
We
You'll have a
got-
chance.
I'm trying to
Let's
think.
go.
We got
putting all
this
this
place
out there
at
for them.
home. It's called Smilers. It is my favorite. I love their loaded nachos. Like I
comes
could be
on
a
a
real
loaded
fat
nacho?
kid at heart.
'Cause this is
you can go 3 ways on this
I'm
actually.
picky
You can
about
do
my
a beef
nachos.
chili, you can do a turkey chili, or you can do chicken and then cheese and like all the fixins like that.
Nachos are good.
I always share it. We always get it. There's usually 3 or 4 of us, and they can definitely
Do you
attest
put
to how
sour
good it is.
cream on your nachos?
Not usually.
Oh wow, I always do.
I dip.
It comes on
Yeah.
the
I
side.
I don't like to put it
yeah.
on top.
No, yeah, you dip the
Never mind. I
nacho,
usually
the
do
fully
salsa.
stacked nacho.
I like
Okay.
more salsa.
I like both. I'll mix them together and do both. Kenzie, fat kid meal.
Dude, I like all sorts of foods. Like
I'm aware.
So, like, I could eat, like, I forget about stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, God, nachos, those
Yeah.
are good. And then, like, Chyna will say something. I'm like, shit, that's good, too.
Oh
like,
yeah, pizza. Oh, tacos.
Like,
oh
like,
shit.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
I
know.
could literally, like, freaking pancakes. Like, I could just really anything. Like, I just don't eat. Not that I don't let myself eat. We were talking about this last night, like, at the grocery store. I was like, I could literally eat all of these, like, cookies that are in the cookie
Cheez-Its
aisle. I was like, but I
and-
never buy them. Like, I never buy them, but, like, I would totally eat that. Like, I would love to eat those, but I just don't buy them. So it's the
You're
same
very
thing with
passionate right now. This is crazy. Talking about
Sorry.
CrossFit and you were like, oh,
No,
You're talking about cookies.
whatever.
I love cookies and I'll eat all the cookies and bring me more cookies,
Well,
please.
it's like I forget about all these foods, and if they were in front of me, I would be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'll eat that. But I just don't do that enough that I don't ever treat myself to those things. I don't ever like go down that road of buying these foods that I forget about even exist, but I
All
secretly
right,
love.
let me build a scenario since you're not
I like
answering my
pizza.
question.
I
Okay.
really like pizza.
Okay, pizza. So like you go to Roy and it's your birthday and you're gonna go for a birthday dinner, anything you want. You're gonna go to a pizza place.
I would say. I mean, it's just a feel good food. Like I just
I'm with ya.
without like feeling like guilty about it. You know, like that's
I never feel guilty about
Okay.
things I eat.
you don't understand.
I don't understand at
You
all.
don't understand.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean that's just a food that I feel like every other things I can like balance it out. Pizza, I'm just like shit, man. Like there's really no way to like balance that meal. It's like just cheese on dough. Like
You shouldn't even try to track it. Like if you're gonna commit to the pizza, just bring it on and just go and be like, today's a wash. Doesn't matter. I'll start over
you're
tomorrow.
like every one of my client. Like you're like
Because I'm a real person.
you're all the people that I get to help.
Yeah.
But either way, pizza is always just like I could probably get sick of it. Like, but I've never
Wow.
had bad pizza. Like I believe that all pizza is good.
Get sick of pizza?
Like, you know, it's like people say I could eat this every day. Peanut butter and jelly, if you want to talk about snacks, I'm boring. Peanut butter and jelly, strawberry jelly, like I never get, like I'll just eat like,
kind of peanut
do
butter.
what they say, not as I
Like
do.
Jif?
Like natural.
Natural.
But I'll just like spoon in peanut butter, spoon in jelly, spoon in mouth. Like, sometimes I do that.
So do you have, like, if I went to your house and opened your peanut butter jar, would it be like just jelly
Goober.
peanut butter all
Goober?
mixed?
Is
Yeah.
that-
That's not real though. That
What do you mean
shit,
real?
that shit's so.
It's delicious.
I mean, it's good, but I wouldn't call that
It's not
real.
real?
That's not.
It's totally real.
They mixed
not like-
peanut butter and jelly.
It's just.
In chunks.
It's not as good. I don't
Okay. Oh,
Anyways,
You
so
can't
you
tell
want
a
to mix it yourself?
dietitian what's real and not real. I'm sure she
It's not
has
real.
done her research.
Okay.
It exists.
I don't
but
know. Yeah, I was going to say,
it
like, I could reach
exists,
out and touch it,
but
so
I'm
it's
not sure
real.
it's a wholesome choice. But either way,
Care about wholesome. We're talking about fat kids. Fat kid
You also
food,
just
not
talked
fat
about
kid.
going back and
Think
forth between a
heavyweights.
peanut butter and jelly jar, like a jar of sugar and then a jar of processed, shitty, oily peanut butter. Like,
It was
what are you talking
natural
about?
peanut butter.
Okay.
That's the difference.
All right.
No, but
What kind
peanut,
of bread? What kind of bread? That's important.
I
Bread
mean,
makes a
I
sandwich.
buy Ezekiel bread normally, but like I said, if we're talking, I don't care.
Fat kid.
Freaking whatever bread.
Oh, okay.
Whatever bread.
Wow, I
don't
do care, but okay.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It depends. Like my mood will change. Sometimes I'll go crazy, and I like rye bread, but I'll toast that with peanut butter and jelly.
Rye bread
If I
is
want.
great.
Toasted
Thank
anything
you.
is
Not
so
with peanut
good.
Never had
But
a PB and
if
J.
I'm eating it just
I'm
bread
going
without
like
toasting,
classic white,
like white bread,
buttered
yes,
bread.
Yeah.
Buttered
untoasted,
bread, like
Like
Sara Lee
Wonder
buttered
Bread,
bread
yes.
or whatever.
Oh yes, the
Yeah,
shittier,
toasted.
the whiter, the better. It's
Yeah,
really
the more processed, the better because
Yes.
it's softer.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
I don't even know what it is
Toasted-
that I'm eating, but it's
Toasted
good.
any like the toaster is a magical.
Oh, peanut butter and
like,
jelly.
I
I
don't
like
know why.
soft. I don't want to toast my
Oh
bread.
really? Oh,
Ever?
No, I mean on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't
always
like
soft.
it toasted. I prefer it soft.
Is it
then
still-
it's like goop.
Okay.
true. Oh no, for sure. I'm
Over,
just saying.
over peanut butter and jelly, I like peanut butter, banana, bacon,
Ooh,
Toasted
banana
bread.
bacon. Oh, I like butter, banana, and honey.
like actual butter,
yeah.
just butter and banana.
You know what else is
Yeah.
good
On
that
toast.
I
butter
never
on
eat?
everything. Yeah.
Well, I do too, but I just like it seems like it's missing something to me.
No, because
just
then
butter
the honey
banana.
puts the
Oh,
sweetness.
honey as
Yeah.
well.
So it's
Whoa.
like
Marshmallow?
it's creamy and savory,
Fluff.
kind of sweet,
Fluffernutter?
and then
Fluffernutter?
a little
Yeah.
bit sweeter.
And you get the nice fat from the butter. That's okay. I'm gonna go make one of those when we're done here.
It's good.
Like I said, all of these things. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, I don't have a favorite. Favorites are hard to pick.
Okay,
man.
let's go one more fun topic for them
Yeah.
before we wrap up. If you could travel anywhere in the world and spend 2 weeks there, where would you go? China, you go
Hawaii,
first.
Maui, always.
And you've already been there, right?
So
always,
good at
yes.
Of course. And that's your favorite place in the whole world.
Absolutely.
And there's no place that you haven't seen that you'd like to explore more than going
because
back to Maui.
I
'cause you're
love the
that
culture.
short.
I love the food.
That's
I
cool.
love the dessert. I love the people. I love the beaches. My dog's from there. I got married there. It's my favorite.
That place works out pretty good for
Yep.
you. Okay.
Done.
She knows
Done.
what she likes. Man.
Wow. Not even any thought behind it.
Nope.
Paige?
I'd probably go to Europe.
That is
Like-
a broad answer.
Like Italy.
There's a lot of
like
places
I'd
in
definitely go
Europe.
to Italy first.
Okay. So like a European tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's for 2 weeks, I
You
would.
only have time to hit 3 countries in Europe. Which ones do you hit? Yeah.
I got the
Italy.
countries.
For that answer.
That's a really good question.
Germany.
You should think about that stuff. You never know when an opportunity is going to
Switzerland?
arise.
Switzerland
Okay.
in Europe? Yeah.
Oh, I'm betting so.
Italy,
I have to think of
Italy to
geography.
Switzerland.
Where's
yeah.
Roy?
That's like real.
Roy
close.
teaches
Germany.
PE.
Man, that's what I used to
I don't know
live
if I,
You got one more
Ireland?
country.
Where's
That's
Ireland?
quite in a European tour.
It
Ireland's
is,
like
but those are like
China.
the 3 main that I would like love to go see.
okay. I mean, those are fine choices.
Shit.
I'm not good at maps.
Alright.
You don't have to know where it is. You just got to know where to go.
That's true. This is all hypothetical. So as far as I'm concerned, you can teleport from country to country.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna teleport somewhere. Now. There you go.
Good to know. Australia, like Fiji.
Okay.
Roy and I always talk about that. Do we know if we really like it? I don't know, but we
Right.
think it might be a good thing to.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds good
Short
in
of
theory.
showing up in like hurricane season or something, like how could you not want to be in Fiji? Like what would go wrong?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's my grandparents went one time when I was like in elementary school. I've always they seem to have a lot of awesome things to show and say about it. So it's always been in my mind.
Did they come back and make you sit down and look at all their pictures of their vacation?
No, they brought me a sweatshirts with koala bears on it though, because it's from Australia.
Oh, okay. It seems very different. Like going to Australia
And they
versus
sent,
going
like,
to Fiji
postcards
feel
and
very
stuff.
different to me.
Oh yeah, but like I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know. I was in 4th grade. But Fiji and also in Mamma Mia, where they're at in Mamma Mia, I believe that's in Greece. Yeah.
Never seen it.
Oh,
That's awesome.
seen
they have all-
What's
you
attractive
need to
about
see-
it?
It's beautiful.
Okay.
It's like
Terrible
the water,
Okay.
the color of the water of the the ocean water is like just beautiful, super blue. Like
Aren't they coming out
a
with
really
another one?
yes.
They
Mamma
are,
Mia
right?
too?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
Wow.
coming out with
I
another
have
one.
no desire to see
I don't
that.
even know
And
what the
I love
movie's
musicals.
about. It's a musical?
Yeah, doesn't it have that my boobs can tell the weather chick?
Yes.
You know what
ABBA?
I'm talking about, right?
Oh my
Karen
goodness.
from Mean Girls.
Yeah, Karen from
Amanda
Mean Girls.
Seyfried. That's her
My
name.
boobs can tell the weather. That girl, she's a fucking star.
I know what
Yes.
you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, but she's not in the second one. The second one's
I
like
hate when they don't
a
have
prequel.
the same people.
It's
I
a
already don't
prequel.
like it.
Did she die at the end of the first one?
No.
Is it a happy movie?
Yes, it's
Oh.
a feel-good movie.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, but the setting is beautiful. So
Okay.
there too.
Where would you go?
Yeah, Seth.
Oh my God.
I'm just curious. We gotta ask you something.
So
He's starting his journey today.
No, well, that's
one
the-
place. One place.
One
I thought
place.
you said one place.
bike.
Oh, I meant
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one. Like she picked up.
I would go right now if I could only go one place. I would go back to New Zealand and spend more time there.
You pick an islandy place, something tropical.
I mean, I wouldn't consider New Zealand
That's not-
tropical,
okay, that was
but
my
the
question.
weather is. I would say the weather is like perfect. So it's not super hot.
What's perfect to you, weather-wise?
Like high 70s, low 80s.
Love that, perfect. I agree.
Low humidity. You can swim. You can be active. You can do whatever you want.
like that.
And it's not too hot, too
We're
cold,
very
whatever.
similar, Seth.
Yeah,
Jeffrey's
I
a
know.
carrion.
The things we've
Cutthroat
discovered,
Kitchen,
how similar we are, it's kind of freaking me
Reese's
out a little bit.
Pieces,
I know.
all the things.
But I do have one bucket list location,
Okay.
but I would still choose New Zealand over going to it, and that's I want to go to Hong Kong and just explore the city. So
That seems very modern and very.
I don't know. It's like
So much people.
I think I've like
I bet you
idealized
the food
it
is good
somehow.
because you didn't get to my fat kid answer. But if I had to
Oh,
choose a fat kid
go
answer,
ahead.
I love dim sum. But I can't always
Wow.
wrap.
I don't know if I've ever had good dim sum.
You probably have not, where they come out with carts and you
Nope,
get to pick, and
never
then
had
they
it.
just. Anyway, it's
I
just
get that
so
in
much
LA?
sodium because I drink like a bottle of soy sauce, so I feel fat for like 3 years.
I can live with that.
But yeah, anyway,
Okay,
but
Dim sum.
I bet you the food there is incredible.
cool. Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap this up? Any thoughts? Anything on your mind? You could just say it to the whole audience right now.
I mean, this is like my first weekend training with Chyna and Kenzie. It's a lot. It's overwhelming, but it seems like a really good fit.
Awesome.
You know, it just
You're cool, Paige.
You are
Thanks.
cool, Paige.
thanks. We like puppies. We have
Yeah.
puppies. I mean, I think that was like the biggest common denominator for us all.
We all broke a hammock. It's great.
That's true.
That was a real bonding
You were all
experience.
bonded together by that hammock for life now.
That was fun.
These girls thought they were like skinny bitches on the beach trying to take photos.
I was trying to be
And
all
they
cute. I
just-
put my hair down and
all cute,
everything.
and they
Take a
get into a
basic
hammock, and the hammock
picture.
just snaps into the lake. So
Like
Yeah.
that
That's
picture,
that.
the picture
That's
too is like
reality.
a perfect, like it really captures everybody's feelings.
The
Like it
essence.
was perfect.
you know what? It kind of captures the whole dynamic of what's going on.
Truth.
Right?
It's true.
So, and with that, you can check out the photo on Chyna's
Yes.
Instagram.
And
then-
maybe next
and
week
then-
mine, and maybe
Eh,
the week
yeah.
I think we're all
Yeah.
gonna post it at
And,
some
and
point.
you can follow all of them, and you can find them
Yeah.
very easily. So,
Do
cool.
that too.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We
Thank
will catch you guys later.
Bye.